Okay, let's jump into Job chapter 40 for this deep dive. We're right in the thick of it. God speaking to Job from the storm.
Yeah, it's incredibly intense. God's finally responding directly to all of Job's complaints.
And Job's first reaction, well, it is pretty stark.
Well, completely. He basically says, I'm unworthy, I can't answer you. Puts his hand over his mouth.
Like, I spoke once, maybe twice, but I'm done now. He just shuts down.
Yeah, recognizes he's totally outmatched and goes silent.
You might think, okay, maybe that's the end of the conversation.
Right. It seems like it could be.
But no, God presses on, tells Job to brace himself, essentially. More questions are coming.
And these next ones are really cutting. God asks, would you discredit my justice? Would you condemn me just to justify yourself?
Wow. That's less a question, more like holding up a mirror to Job's arguments, isn't it?
Exactly. It flips the whole thing. God's saying, are you really questioning my fairness?
And then God just keeps escalating. It's almost like a test.
A huge one. He asks Job, do you have an arm like mine? Can your voice thunder like God's?
Basically, are you God, Job?
Pretty much. And the list just keeps going.
Right. Adorn yourself with glory. Unleash your wrath. Humble the proud.
Crush the wicked.
Yeah.
Bury them all.
It's this rundown of purely divine actions.
Can you do any of this, Job? That's the underlying question.
And the point is driven home so forcefully. God says, look, if you could actually do all these things,
Right, if you could wield that kind of power and execute perfect justice,
then I'd admit your own hand could save you.
it's such a powerful way to show the absolute chasm between them, like a rhetorical mic drop.
Absolutely. It underlines Job's and really our limitations compared to God's sovereignty. You just can't manage the universe from a human perspective.
And then, just when you think you're grappling with this huge theological point, God changes gears completely.
He does. Suddenly it's, look at the behemoth.
Yeah, which I made along with you. It feels like, wait, where did that come from?
It is pretty abrupt, but super fascinating when you think about it.
Okay, so behemoth. God made it along with Job.
Right.
Part of the same creation. Yes, but then immediately highlights how extraordinary this creature is.
And the description is, well, it's something else. Strength in its loins, power in its belly.
Its tail sways like a cedar tree, bones like bronze tubes, limbs like iron rods. It sounds immense.
Just impossibly strong.
And it ranks first among the works of God, top-tier creation.
But then there's that key line.
Right. Yet his maker can approach him with his sword. Even this pinnacle of creaturely power is totally subject to God.
And it lives under lotus plants, hidden in marshes, secure even when rivers flood.
Totally unbothered. Formidable.
And God finishes that description with another challenge, really.
A direct one. Can anyone capture him or trap him and pierce his nose?
And the answer is clearly supposed to be no way. Humans can't tame this thing.
Right.
So why bring up this massive wild creature right then? What's the connection back to Job's suffering or God's justice? Is it just a flex of power?
Well, it's more than just I'm strong. It's about control, perspective, maybe even understanding. God's using a concrete example from creation.
Something Job could maybe even, conceive of.
Exactly. A creature that exists in their world but is utterly beyond human control. It's a tangible lesson.
So God's saying, look, Job, you can't even handle this one creature I made.
How can you possibly think you can grasp, let alone judge, how I run the entire cosmos, including all the complexities of justice and suffering?
Okay. It's about scale. It puts human limitations into sharp focus against the backdrop of divine power and, well, divine perspective.
Precisely. It shifts the focus from Job's personal pain to the sheer awe of the Creator versus the created, using creation itself to make the point.
So it forces Job and us, I suppose, to confront the nature of ultimate power and, frankly, where we fit in. Maybe things that look like chaos to us.
We're just part of a much bigger picture we can't see or control.
So the takeaway here is Job moving from demanding answers about justice to just being silenced, humbled by this display of God's sheer sovereignty, partly shown through this incredible creature, Behemoth.
Yeah, it's about recognizing that vast difference in scale and power, understanding your place.
And that final question about Behemoth sticks with you. Can anyone capture him? It makes you think, doesn't it? What else is out there in our world? Forces, systems, mysteries that are just fundamentally beyond our grasp or control. And what does their existence suggest about whatever power created them?